In this training video, I will teach you how to log in old certifications for employees at Support Services of Virginia into the training management system. The training management system on THERAP will not replace Paylocity. The Paylocity training database still needs to be kept up to date and needs to be accurate. But in addition to entering in dates for trainings you are also going to need to enter dates into the Training Management Academy on THERAP. Let me show you how to do that. What you're going to do is go to your secure login. You're going to log in to THERAP. You're then going to go to your dashboard. If you are someone whose responsibility it is to maintain training records for Support Services of Virginia, what you will notice is on your dashboard you have had a tab added to the left-hand side of your screen that says Agency. You're going to click on Agency, and that will bring you to the Training Management System. The Training Management System has a lot of features to it that we'll discuss in later videos. But to get started, each division is going to need to enter in all of the certifications for people who are currently working at Support Services of Virginia. I will show you in the next video how to do a training sort on Paylocity and print that out so that you can have that next to you when you're entering in old certifications for our current employees. To enter old certifications, you are going to do the same thing as when you are entering classes that are taken. So for instance, after the system is built, you are going to need to enter training dates once a training is completed into Paylocity, just like you've been doing, and then you're going to also need to come into THERAP and enter the training date for the class that the people just took. But you enter them the same way, and we enter them by going to Certifications, enter Old Certification, and you're going to click on that. What's then going to come up is a list of all of the training classes that Support Services of Virginia offers. We are not going to enter in information for med management or med policy at this time, but all of the other classes, if we have a date for them, we want to get them into the system. You can select up to 10 classes at a time. So I'm going to go ahead and just select the first 10 classes. And I'm going to click on Next. You can get to the person that you want to log information about by entering their last name or their first name. I'm going to enter the last name of the person I wish to enter certifications for, and that's going to be Jane Trainer. So I'm going to enter her name in here, and I'm going to click Next. And this is what will appear. All of the classes that I checked will be at the top, and the person's name for whom I want to enter certifications will be down here underneath User. Now, if there are several people in the company with the last name Trainer, they will also be listed in order below Jane Trainer. So be careful of that because you want to make sure that you're logging in for the correct person. What I'm then going to do next is simply enter in a date that the person took the class based on the records that I have. So for instance, we'll say Jane Trainer took Crisis Intervention on August 20th, 2015. When entering in dates, you must enter a two-digit month, a two-digit day, and a four-digit year. And then I would just continue on and enter in any other dates that I have. If I leave them blank, that's not a problem. Once I hit certify, it's only going to enter in the dates that I put in here. So if you check too many and you don't have any data for a person, it's okay. Just simply click certify and then go to the next classes that you need to enter. Another thing that you need to know about this is that you'll notice that it says user and then all of the classes are in a blue or a gray box. You do not enter dates next to the user line or in the gray boxes. You are only entering dates next to the person's name and in the white boxes. The white boxes indicate that the person does not have any data entered into the training management system for the class being shown. What I want to point out is you'll notice that Jane Trainer has a box that is gray. So they're both gray. Autism is gray on the top and autism is gray on the bottom. Remember, I don't enter anything up here next to user, but I want to look at Jane Trainer and say, okay, why is her box gray? What this tells me is that there has been a date entered for autism. So at some point, someone has entered in a date for her. What I want to do is come down here to show history, and I would click on the show history and a new tab will come up. I will maximize that, and it's going to tell me the name of the training class, the date that the person has entered for the certification. If there was an expiration date would show up here. How this was entered into the training management system, who entered it, and then if they were assigned to this class, then that would show up there too. But we'll get to that later on in the training. If that looks all good and correct, all you have to do is X out of this box, and it'll just bring you back to where you can enter in dates. All right, let's say that you've been doing a million of these, which you will be doing in the beginning, and you can't remember if the autism date is correct or not that you have entered, or you found two dates and you want to make sure the most recent one is in there. All you have to do is come to the box, the gray box, and hit show history because you messed up somehow and you don't want that to stay in there, and you're going to come over and click remove. You're then going to enter your reason for removing the date, and then you do have to write down a reason. Common reason for deletion would be wrong date entered. I'm just going to repeat it. And then I will come down here to remove. And now when I go to autism, Jane's box is white again, showing that there is no information in there or no dates recorded for autism. And then I can simply click on this and add in whatever date I want. So what I'm going to do is just show you real quick how this works, because once I've entered the date, then I'm going to come down here to certify, and it certifies the person. Remember, you can enter in multiple dates so that you can do a lot of classes at one time. What I'm then going to do, if I'm entering another person, I'm going to come down here to select training classes to certify more, and it's going to pull my list up again. Now remember, I only selected 10 of these for Jane. So if I were doing this for Jane in real life, what I would do then is start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I would start under the 10th class. I would check the remainder of these, and I would go into next. I'd pull Jane back up because I hadn't entered anything for those. I would click next, and then I would go ahead and enter certifications for her again until she's finished. Okay, that's how we enter certifications into the training management system for THERAP. Once all of your certifications have been entered for every employee that works in your division, we'll take the next step, which is going to be conducting sessions and assigning people to courses. Go ahead now and view the next video, which will teach you how to do a training sort for your division on Paylocity so that you can get a paper copy of all the courses you need to enter in for your region. Before I do that, though, let me just show you one more thing. Let's say that I just conducted a class, or the trainer just conducted a class and it was first aid CPR. I would get the roster if I'm the person in charge of that, and I would do the same exact thing as what I did when I was entering in old training certificates. I would simply go to my agency tab. I would come down here to certify, enter old certifications. It's a first aid CPR class, so I'm going to click on that and go to next. And let's say Jane Trainer took that one. I'm going to enter her last name, click next. And this may be gray because it's a recertification training. So the recertification trainings may show up gray if they have missed the training date or they're taking it early. So the recertification classes, that would be the only time that if there's a gray box here, you're going to enter a date. I would always check the history first just to make sure you're not double entering data. So what I would do is I would then enter in today's date, 2-digit month, 2-digit day, 4-digit year, and I would hit certify. And then I would just go to enter more trainees, and I would go to the next person on my list for CPR first aid. That was taken today. And that's how you enter in people who have just recently taken new courses. Okay, I hope that video was helpful for you. Go ahead and view the video on how to do a training sort in Paylocity.